Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Twilight Princess. We're here at the top of Snowpeak Mountain because that's where it set me after saving after Snowpeak. So we actually want to go back in this cave here to the north. Now that we have the ball and chain, there's actually something we can get in here. Well, there's actually a couple things, but only one of which is actually important. So it's a lot quicker going back down because you don't have to climb up a bunch of stuff. And once we get back here, we see that there are some chunks of ice we can break with our ball and chain. Underneath this one is a post hole. So let's transform into a wolf and take care of that. You may also see that we uncovered a couple of torches. I'm sure it's pretty obvious to everybody what we need to do with those. So let's turn back into a human here and get our lantern out. So of course we light the two and a chest magically appears before our eyes. And we're going to open it up to receive 100 rupees. So, you know, nothing really important, but that definitely is going to help out here. Alright, so we're basically done in the Snowpeak area for now. We're going to be back in a little bit. But I want to go to the Castletown warp point. Because there is a piece of heart, actually, that we can get now that we have the ball and chain. You know, it's pretty much usual that whenever you receive a new item in the dungeon, there's always at least one or two things in the overworld that you can get with it. So let's turn around here, and we need to be going out through the north exit of Hyrule Field. Alright, so as we head northeast from here, whenever we enter into the northern Hyrule Field zone, we can see there's this path up here. We've actually taken this path a few times before, and we're actually going back to an area where we previously found a golden bug. We want to take a right here at this fork, and as we come around, we can see that there's this big open area with a Tektite and a Lizalfulse, or whatever you want to call it. So let's transform into a human. Might as well just take care of these things since they're here and in the way. This is kind of an annoying combination, I gotta say, but... I was hoping I'd get the Tektite with that helm splitter. Alright, there we go. That wasn't too bad. Ooh, we dropped a rupee. And there's the yellow rupee 10. Alright, we got it. So, the golden bug is actually up here, and I may be able to see it, but there's this cave here that we didn't go to before, mostly because we couldn't do anything in it. But now that we have the ball and chain, we actually do want to come back here and go inside. So a lot of people may have some not-so-fond memories with this cave, if you explored it in your playthrough. So let's break this ice, and we're going to have sliding block puzzles! Yeah, everybody loves these, right? Okay, so apparently the little map thing got a lot of praise in the last time I used it, so I may do it again for these, and may not explain them as well as a result, but oh well. Okay, so this one's relatively easy. We just have one button and 3 blocks. You know, it's pretty much like the one we had in the ruins, except you know, not exactly the same. So let's just move these around, and basically we're going to be using the same stopper idea. At this point we're just moving around in circles again. We've already got everything set up. So we move that one to the south, back to the west, and back to the north. And then we just do the same with the north block. See, I mean, it's nothing really that complicated. It's basically exactly the same thing that we did in Snowpeak. We just had to set it up a little bit first. So let's finish moving this thing around in a circle. Nope, not from there. That'd be a bad idea. And now our first button has been pressed, which will open this little gate here. Now this one is actually, I think, probably more complicated than the third one is, mostly because, as you can see, there are 2 buttons we have to press. And you have to get them both down because there's actually 2 layers of gates. You may be able to see the second one back there. I don't know if you could or not, but... Alright, so, if I'm remembering, we need to move this one over here first. You pretty much have to have, like, 2 things in mind whenever you're setting this up. You've got to get it set up both for, you know, for both blocks at the same time. It can be a little bit tricky. So, you know, it may just be in your best interest to mimic what I'm doing here, pretty much, you know, without trying to worry too much about the general concepts. Okay, but we're going to push this block down, and when we do that, that actually lands on our first button, and our first gate has been retracted. So now we're not going to be moving that block from that position since we've got it where we want it. So let's just move the other one around now. And set it up on the north end of the block that we just pushed to, you know, land on the button. I mean, as I said, it's a little bit hard to explain, but it might just be in your best interest to mimic what I'm doing here. It's incredibly difficult to actually explain the concept of what we're doing, but basically by pushing that block on the north of the south block, and for a better way, lack of a better way to explain it, that actually put a stopper so we can push this block over here onto the second switch. You know, I'm sure none of you understood that. I'm not really sure if I knew what I was saying myself, but that's how you do it. Okay, so in this one, it's just a big square thing, but the fact that it's a lot larger makes it a lot harder to set up. There's going to be a lot of moves in this, so definitely be paying attention to the little map if you need it. It may just be in your best interest to like just play along like at the same point, and then pause the video every time I move the block, and then do it yourself. Because it's incredibly difficult to explain, as I've already said, so I'm just going to be just doing this, basically, and you guys can just mimic what I do. Alright, so we move this north, and now move this over to the east. Now we're going to take this top one around in almost a complete circle. Push it back to the south. And then push it back east. So, actually, what we have here, we're basically setting up the stopper block, using the stopper blocks. Sort of using the successive steps idea we have before. You just really have to have a plan whenever you attack this. So we're moving this around in a complete circle, and by setting up a block here, we've actually created a horizontal stopper. Our goal now is to get a block right here, so we can push it in that direction. And the easy way to do that is to move this block, if I can get around to it and stop sliding around, over towards the western wall. Then push this block over towards the western wall, and now all we have to do is push that block to the north and to the east, and that'll come to rest on the button there. So as I said, it's pretty complicated if you don't, you know, come into this thing with a plan on how to attack it. But once you've completed those 3 block puzzles, you open this chest at the end in order to get a heart piece. It seems like kind of a small reward. There should be multiple heart pieces in here, but well, whatever. So now we're finally done with the ice cave, and we're also finally done with sliding block puzzles. I don't think there are any more in the game that we need to worry about. So I guess you can heave a sigh of relief after that if you all manage to get through it. Okay, so now that we've taken care of that heart piece, that's pretty much all there is to do in the overworld with the ball and chain. So let's, okay, we need to go to Kakariko Village right now. I want to take care of the whole Mallow Mart thing. I don't know if I'm going to have time or not. I may be actually speeding it up once we get in there. It just depends on, you know, how much time is left. Because I spent basically the entire video doing those block puzzles. You know, actually, we may not even get into it, because I forgot there's an intermediate step that I need to do. So when we come over here, you may remember that the old Goron in Mallow Mart is requesting 2,000 rupees for donations in order to get a shop into Hyrule Castletown. Well, if we talk to this old guy here who makes strange noises, Onyara, Munyara, Hanyara, Pinyara... Pinata? No. Eek! Oh. Long ago I predicted that you would come, my brother. Tell me, my brother, did you not see a young Goron in Castletown? He has yet to come back, even though they say the East Gate Bridge is fixed. Perhaps you could look in on him for me, my brother. Sure thing, my brother. So we need to be warping back to the Hyrule Castletown, of course, because we need to be checking on that Goron. Yeah, we're definitely not going to be getting into the actual the actual quest of this, so I guess I don't have to worry about that after all. So what we're doing now is going back to Castletown in order to check on the Goron on the Eastern Gate, at the request of that old Goron in Kakariko Village. And of course, on the way, Mr. Link, wait! How does he even know I'm Link? I'm a wolf. Oh well, whatever. Okay, greetings, Mr. Link. I've come to deliver letters. 2 letters, in fact. Yeah, we know. Come on. So one of these letters is actually of interest. I think the other one is pretty much completely useless. But let's look at them anyway. I don't know, I think I showed you guys about this. Rare item in stock with Barnes. Have you, still a bomb enthusiast, still loving bombs? He's got some interesting bombs in. And we'll check that out in a little bit. This is useless. You can pause that and read it if you want. This one's from Yeda. I feel bad. You paid me a visit and I not much help. I feel better now. Husband and I sled lots now. Very much fun. So basically we've been invited to join Yedo and Yeda back at Snowpeak. And of course we're going to be doing that relatively soon. But for right now we're out of time, so we'll have to pick up on that, checking on that Goron in Castletown in the next part. So until then, thank you guys for watching and I'll see you next time.